What is going on, guys? This is Daniel, and on Monday I watched the Spurs-Celtics game, and how the Celtics strategically attacked the Spurs pick-and-roll defense really stood out to me. They used some great concepts, and it really helped them have a nice offensive game. Let's get to it. Let's start with how they attacked the Spurs sideline ice defense. Ice defense is a very common way to defend the pick and roll, and it starts with the on-ball defender not allowing middle and forcing sideline at the point of attack. And the sagging big man will contain the ball by dropping. And one of the main reasons why it is successful is if Towns rolls to the basket on this play, there are 3 weak side defenders who could be in position to bump him on the roll. Anyways, Butler gets blocked at the rim here. The Celtics use numerous strategies to attack ice, and here the Spurs perform ice on the first sideline pick and roll, and then the Celtics will go to a rescreen. Theis will come screen the ball lower than he had before, and this works because the on-ball defender had just squared up to get back in front of Shane Larkin. He isn't expecting a rescreen, and this allows Larkin to get to the middle of the floor, and while you would have liked to see him drive, that is an open jumper. A great way to attack ice is with the dribble handoff. So the Spurs play ice, and then the Celtics go into this dribble handoff action, and it's very hard to ice against the dribble handoff because if Danny Green jumps out too far to try to deny the handoff, Kyrie could cut back door, potentially breaking down the defense. So Kyrie gets the handoff, and now he's toward the middle of the floor. And now when Theis rolls, the 3 defenders not involved aren't in great position to help, and Theis gets the roll and dunk. As you know, ice attempts to force sideline and not allow the ball to the middle of the floor, so one of the best ways to attack ice isn't with a pick and roll, it's with a pin down. Kyrie can come off the screen, catch it in the center, and now he's in the same position as he was in before, with the ball in the middle and a big man rolling, and he finds Horford for the oop. As we watch this play again, notice how it wasn't a simple pin down for Kyrie that got him open. First, it was a double screen for Nader that occupied the defense, served as a decoy, and this misdirection was big in terms of getting Kyrie open on this play. So yes, a good way to beat ice is to avoid it entirely and find a new way to get middle. And again, the Celtics go to a pin down, and notice how they set it up with some nice screen-to-screener action, and this gets Kyle Anderson trailing Tatum when he comes off the down screen, and this leads to Tatum getting middle and being able to throw an oop to Theis. The next way is a very common NBA action, and it's because it works. It's a handoff into a ball screen, and it gets Smart to, sound familiar, the middle, and the Celtics execute this well here. Smart reads the weak side defender and makes the proper pass, finding Horford for the oop. Boston also used the jail clear out on one possession, and what Smart will do is, when Mills performs ice, he'll actually go along with what the Spurs want and drive sideline. But then, notice what he'll do afterwards. He'll put his man in jail by backing his body into Mills, buying time for Baynes to roll, and then once Baynes gets to the basket, he seals off Aldridge, the sagging big man, allowing Smart to get off a nice shot inside. This takes great timing and communication between the 2 players, but it can absolutely be effective. Moving on to the Spurs pick and roll defense on top and how the Celtics got good looks out of their high pick and roll. And one thing the Spurs will sometimes do is they'll weak the pick and roll, where Mills will take away Kyrie's right hand and force him to his weak hand, his left hand, though here Kyrie scores anyways. Let's take a look at Kyrie's shot chart from last season, and you can see there are more green areas, which is good, on the right side of the floor. So Kyrie does a bit better when shooting from the right side. Brad Stevens knows this, of course, so one thing they did in this game to make sure Kyrie got going toward his right hand is a give and go with Horford. So Kyrie will throw it to Horford, and it's a simple pitch back, and now he's going toward his right in the pick and roll, and he hits the floater. Again, the Celtics execute the pitch, and because it's not a traditional pick and roll, Aldridge doesn't contain the ball like he should, and this gives Kyrie a driving lane, and he throws the oop to Nader. That pitch is extremely simple, but it gets Kyrie to his right hand. Lastly, one way to attack the Spurs' non-aggressive style of defending the pick and roll is by having a guy like Kyrie who can hit the pull-up 3 and make Gasol pay for not stepping up on him. On this play, notice how Baines sets a really good screen, and him and Horford set great screens, freeing the Celtics up for great opportunities throughout the whole game. Well, there you have it, guys. The concepts I shared are valuable, but what's most important in the end is that the Celtics executed the concepts by making good passes, setting good screens, and running the sets into the concepts with precision. I appreciate you staying toward the end of the video, so here's some bonus content. Let's talk about the jail clear out, and we saw the Celtics do this earlier versus ice defense, and it worked pretty well. It's not used frequently, but I do think it should be ran more, and it can be used in high pick and roll versus drop coverage, not just versus ice. And Fournier comes off the screen toward his right, but instead of driving toward his right, he'll put his man in jail, and notice how he snakes back toward his left. So he's going on the same path as his roll man Vucevic, and this allows Nikola to seal off Whiteside with ease, and Fournier gets the layup. Lin and Booker execute this on opening night, and it causes the defense to collapse, and Lin dishes it out to Allen Crabbe. The Wizards do this, and notice how before they go into the pick and roll, Beal sets a screen for Wall, and this plays a small role in getting Mike James behind the play, and when Wall has that kind of separation, he's able to manipulate the defense and perform the jail clear out with Gortat. Usually when I've seen it, it's worked, but this is an example of it not working between Wall and Gortat, and notice why. Murray fights over the screen hard, and when Wall tries to put him in jail, he nicely gets back in front of Wall, and then Jokic recognizes what's happening and gets physical with Gortat, shoving him backwards, not letting himself get sealed, and the Wizards don't get it to work this time, though they do score on this possession. Hope you learned something this video, and I'll see you next time.